this video, I'm going to show you my filming process on how I film and edit my music videos. Let's check it. So I've been getting a lot of questions about my process in filming music videos and editing them and all that good nonsense. I just did one on the song process of how I record, what programs I use, and how I bounce it and all that fun stuff. Yeah. So now we're doing it on the music video. It's all about the same song. So if you want to jump from one to the other. And again, I'm not a professional. This is my process and how I've always tried to do things the easiest way, and the easiest way is the way I kind of already know, and I kind of innovate off of that. And this is what I'm doing in this video. This is the way I've done things from the beginning, and if it ain't broke, I'm not gonna fix it. So let's jump into Final Cut Pro. Everything is already recorded for the music video, so I'm not gonna show you track by track what I do. I basically set this camera up on a tripod, set it in front of me, and I pantomime, which is I fake play through the song that I had just recorded. I backtrack it, and I play each track. I do that for every single instrument, because I'm the only one in this band, or whatever the hell you want to call it for online. But anyway, I'm talking too much. Let's jump into this. Alright guys, I'm in Final Cut Pro right now. I had already started a new event and project. Basically, let me break this down. A library is where all of your events and all of your projects go into. Your events are the collection of clips that you have. So, like, this one's labeled for the cover song Invitation Understanding, which is what we're working on today. And it's just that collection, and that's what your event is. Say you would go and have go to a fireworks display, and you'd have a bunch of different clips of that, a couple of the food vendors, maybe some rides, something in an amusement park. You'd pile all that into one folder, put that folder onto here, and call it a new event. And then your project is just that. Your project is exactly what you're working on, which is right now, I'm just calling it feature. Let me just rename that. I have all of my clips right here in this folder, and I basically took the whole folder and dragged it into here, and that's what you see right here. I'm going to go through each of these and name them. You can do that prior while they're in the folder on either an external hard drive or your regular hard drive in a folder. But I like naming these because it makes it a little easier when you start cutting and cropping and moving things around. You can kind of see what you're working with. When I first started doing this, I didn't name them, and it was agonizing to go back and be like, okay, this one's 3128. Was that acoustic guitar or regular guitar or bass or whatever? And then you have to look at the clip. It's just easier doing that the way. So we're going to call this one AC, guitar, bass. There's two clips of bass, so bass 2, electric guitar. This looks like a botch clip because there's no sound here, and it's a couple seconds long, so that's a useless clip. Move that to trash. This is Vox vocals, and I know these next two 100% are Harm 1, Harm 2 harmonies. And that's basically it. In other clips and other videos, I've used piano for embellishment, and I've used 2 guitars. I've had some percussive stuff, but I'm really not doing that in this. I don't play my own drums, and it's not that impressive when I'm just showing myself punching different keys on a keyboard to do the drums, so I'd rather it this way. Anyway, first thing we do is go in and get the song, which is right here. This is the original version, And then this is my version. And we're going to take this, drag it down here. And this is going to help us line up with everything. And then the next, you got to kind of look in the song. I do anyway. What's the first thing that's played? Is it just an acoustic guitar? Does it come in with vocals? Is there a guitar riff? Whatever comes in first, or is there the longest, I typically drag that in, which is going to be this. I'm going to go over here, click on the track, and see how this is sideways? I'm going to move this around. Final Cut Pro does it a little differently than, iMovie or Windows Movie Maker or whatever you're using. I'm going to blow that up just a little bit. My head being a little bit out of the shot isn't going to make much of a difference. And basically what we're going to do here is this is already mixed and mastered. That's the song. This is the track. You can hit V to mute that for a minute. And basically what we're doing here is we're going to try to line up the guitar track that I have, which is just a backtrack, to the song. Clicking this. How I did that was just the letter B, and then click A, and then delete. Get rid of that. You can blow it up by hitting Command plus and dragging it over. Maybe that's a little too much. Once you get all of these aligned, you're going to do with every single one of these. Acoustic, bass, electric guitar, harmony. If you have drums, if you are a drummer and are doing this, you're going to do this with every single one of these. Back here, click V. Okay, now both of these are lined up. Now that they're lined up, you're going to go on and you're going to do the same thing with the bass, the electric, the harmonies. Like I said, whatever else you have. And a cool little trick that I learned is drag this down here. I think this is a mess up track as well. See how this is poopy and messed up? If you go here on your old track and hit Command C and then go on your new track and click Option Command V, it'll copy and paste all the settings. So you can do that with your video settings and your audio settings too. And basically you're gonna mute this once it's set up. I'm just going to delete that because that's the wrong track. Let me run through these. I'm going to line these all up with the song, and then we'll jump back in. I'll show you how I cut things up. I'm not quite lined up yet. I just did bass. I figured I'd show you a little easy way. When I bounce these songs, these tracks, I leave this much right here is all no sound. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty much 4 beats ish. And the reason I do that is you can see right here where the song comes in, and this cursor will stop right on it. You can take the track that you want to line up and kind of turn the volume down. Here if they line up, if they don't, and those sound pretty lined up. Move on to electric guitar. And that's just a little trick that I use. Again, drag an electric guitar down, Command C on the bass, Command Option V. Move this up, that way I can hear it. You don't want to mute it before you can hear it. And at all times, you want to keep this one on. Eventually, you're going to put it back to 0.0 dB because it's already been mixed and mastered, and it's ready for iTunes if you wanted to. And you could just see by these levels, nothing, 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 boom, first note. That's where that comes in. You want to move it and line it up with the bottom track. So we're going to take that, slide that on over. You can zoom in with Command plus. You see how that just moved down? Okay, when I cut it and moved it down. See how it says electric guitar here and bass 2 here? It gets to be such a pain sometimes, which is why I decided to label them. That's what I was talking about. Because you're like, what is this track? And if you're not holding a guitar and there's like 3 vocal parts right there, it gets kind of confusing when it says like IMG _ 247. You're like, what was 247? So that's why I label everything. There it is right there. Perfect. Just gonna mute this. And I'm gonna do it with the vocals and do it with the first and second harmony, and then I'll show you how to crop all of these. Unless I'm playing the instrument throughout the entire song, like I am with the vocals, I'm pretty much singing the whole song, the electric guitar, the bass, definitely the acoustic. I'm singing them throughout the entire song. I jump around. So with the harmony parts, that part is just there, and then it doesn't happen again until way over here. So what I do is I stop recording and then start recording again. Or I'll just fast forward in the actual song. So I'm going to cut that right here. One thing I get a question about is like, how do you stack yourself on top of yourself? Like, how do I have two videos in one thing? And that's just an easy trick in here. Go right here. I put a filter on each harmony track. In this case, I'm going to use cast on this one. I put it on the entire track. And what I do is I try to set that up from the get-go. That way, when I'm cutting it, I don't have to keep going in here, clicking and dragging it over, clicking and dragging it. Once I cut it, it's already there. And then what I'm going to do is click on this thing right here, and then you get this little thing. Oh, don't want to flip myself upside down. And then I'm going to put myself right over here in the corner. And for that, all I'm going to do is hit Control C, and then see if we go over here. It's no longer there. I'm just in black and white. Option Command V, boom, right there. And then the track below it is what you're seeing here. So if we mute this, this is this track with the harmonies. And then if we unmute this, that's the Vox track. Just a quick little thing I do. And I'm going to do the same one with Harmony 2. And I'll probably use like a black and white filter or something else on it. It'll look kind of like that. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, scrub through these, see where I'm singing, where I'm not, cut it up where I'm not singing. That way I can just get rid of that and I'm not fumbling around with it later. And then do the second harmony part, stack it on top of this one. The second harmony part's going to go right below me. You can stack multiple video clips on top of each other by doing the same process of clicking on this, shrinking it down and moving it. What I like to do though is Option Command V first for this second harmony, and then drag it. But I'll show you that in a minute. I'm just rambling right now. Let me go through these. This is the harmony track. This is the harmony track right here, Harm 2. I'm going to drag in here. And basically what I'm going to do is copy Harm 1, Command C, and then Option Command V, and that will shrink it and put it on top of this. So you can move it around. And see how there's two of them? Just make sure you're moving the right one around. See, right now I'm moving Harm 2 around, and that's Harm 1 I'm moving around. This is with anything. You can stack 3 guitar parts on top of each other if you want. I'm just doing it with 3 vocals. That's Harm 2. And then what I'm going to do with this is to make it a little different than the first harmony part up here is I'm going to take this and put black and white on it. That way it looks a little different. And I'm going to line it up just as close to possible as I can with this other one. And that's another reason why I also copied them and pasted the settings, is so they're already the same side. That way you're not fumbling around with it and you're not guessing. This one isn't... I didn't sync it up with the music yet. I'm assuming since there's a big pop right here in sound that the first one starts here. And with this one I jumped around. We're going to cut this here. And you can delete all of this because there's no singing here in this part. I sang in the second verse. Let me just... you can hit V to get rid of the track, to mute it. It doesn't delete it or anything, it just gets rid of it. V does that in Final Cut Pro. I didn't do anything here, so you just hit the delete button, get rid of that part. But I'm going to line these up. I also deliberately sing out of tune. Really annoying when I do this. I don't know if you can hear it. That way I can kind of match it up better because especially when it's only when it's vocals, I do that. That way I can match them up pretty easily because you're just saying the words. You can talk it if you wanted to. And then I try to cut these exactly the same. Both of those tracks cut right there, the same space. And we're going to do the same thing. This one isn't cut yet. I'm going to assume right here and right here since they don't sing in those parts. You can cut right here, and get rid of... Oh, don't want to get rid of both of those because that gets rid of the whole thing. But you can at least get rid of here, here, and here. The cool thing about doing harmonies too is that they're typically all going to land on top of each other in the same spot if you're doing a 2 or 3 part. So if you've done one, you can kind of go through and go, okay, this is going to be the next one. There's going to be a pop here. There's going to be a pop here. And all you have to do is kind of line them up. Get rid of that. Mute this. For the love of God, make sure you mute mute your tracks, because what's going to end up happening is you're going to bounce this and you're going to forget about this right here. The whole thing up until that 1 minute and 30 some odd seconds is going to sound great. And then all of a sudden you're going to have this like, what was I doing there? Why didn't I mute that? And then you're going to have to go through and re-export the entire thing, delete it all off YouTube if you have a YouTube channel or you're doing something on there, or Facebook, whatever you're using, and then re-upload the whole damn thing. So just make sure you go through and all that stuff's muted. I'm going to leave this open. These are V'd out right now, and I'll show you why later. See right here, I forgot to mute this track and mute this track, which would have been a fatal mistake. I know on this track, on this second harmony track right here, that I end up messing up the oohs and ahs at the end of the song, so I had to go back and do it again. As you can see, I'm going through here on this track right here. You can see my big dumb head. Right there is moving the song back a little bit, so I can cut it again. So I'm gonna have to cut like right here, delete that, and move this over, and then listen for it again. I think I got it. Just make sure your lips are lined up with the vocals. That's all I can really say about this. And now this is kind of the fun part. And basically what we're going to do is go through this and put this back up to 0, because it's already mixed and mastered. That's already done. You can, if you want, delete this 4 at the beginning. Boom, right on it. And then what you're going to do is V and V. If you hit V, it'll click on it, hit V, it'll completely mute the track, completely block the track out, no volume, nothing will come through. If you hit V again, it opens it back up, and what that does is it helps your CPU, and it helps your RAM from trying to be the little engine that could, struggling uphill, unless you have some good specs on your computer. But I don't. I just have an okay hard drive, okay video drive, basically stock stuff that came with it, and I put some more RAM and a better hard drive in it. If you have 2 or 3 tracks, or start stacking these, all of them open, see how it's lagging? It's going to lag. So what I do is I try to find the best one. Which one has the most powerful opening note? And I think that's the guitar. And then what I'm going to do is go here, and this is just cutting it. B, A, and V are going to be your best friends here. The letters B, A, and V on your computer. It might be different for, you know, as I've said, Windows Movie Maker, iMovie, whatever you're using to edit your videos. But for me, it's B, A, V. B cuts it, and then you got to click on it. A turns it back to the arrow, and then V mutes the track. So I'm going to, this is the first opening note, the boom, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. I already cut that. B, cut it. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to mute the rest of this. I'm going to go here and see if I like this. That move right there I did too. I also hit B and cut this right here. Spliced it directly with where I'm going to make a new clip. So now we have this. Now I'm going to splice it again. V, mute that. And then we'll see what the acoustic guitar looks like. B, V, muted that. And then maybe we're going to come up here to the electric guitar again. And then I really like the last couple beats on that measure where it's dun, 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 dun. It's a cool little acoustic guitar lick. So I'm going to come back down here to the acoustic guitar, and I'm going to open that back up. Now right here, I'm making another cut. I'm going to mute this even though it's on the bottom. And then I'm going to come up here, and this is where the vocals start. Vocals start right here. Boom, open the vocals up. That was the first line of the song. Come on, understanding, visit me for once today. Mute that. And I'm going to do that for the entire song, until you have something that's a little bit like a jigsaw puzzle with muted out parts. But right now we're going to skip along through this. You can also hit Command Z to take it back. So say you didn't like the cut right there. I need to make it a little more over. So instead of doing eight beats, I'm gonna do 4, cut it in half, and then I'm gonna use the guitar. Kind of show off some parts as you're doing. So I have like kind of a cool bass lick that's bum 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 bum, which isn't in the original song. And then again, right here at the bottom with the acoustic with that final lick. You can jump around them and make it as creative as you want. I'm basically going to do the same thing with this, except I'm going to start at the bottom and then work my way back up. Maybe I want to split this in half right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to show that one measure of the electric guitar, and like I said, I really like that ending lick on acoustic guitar. So I'm gonna come back down here, make sure this is muted, because if not, you're gonna see the bass. Make a cut right here, mute that. Now these came in way too early. What you're gonna do if something like that happens, let's go up here, find out where it is. Harmony 1. Get rid of that part. Cut this, cut this. It doesn't come in until right here. So this part needs to be deleted. You can drag over those and just click delete. Now this track is muted, so it's going to look kind of silly right now with acoustic guitar over top of 2 vocals. So you're going to come down here and make another cut, mute the acoustic guitar track, and then open up that vocal track and make a cut on it right here if you haven't already. I'm going to cut here, here, and here. I'm going to delete these 2 because this is just the tail end of that. No one needs that. You can either, for me, I can either just show the vocals by itself, or mute this and say open up the electric guitar part. Mute that. Let me go to a bass track and open it. Maybe I want to, let me see. I like that bass lick there, but it's not doing anything after that. So I'm going to go down here and open up that acoustic track. Again, it's starting a little too early, and it starts the new verse. So we're going to put these 2 back on each other together. We're going to mute these. Go and show off a little bit of electric guitar. There's that guitar, acoustic guitar lick again. We're going to do that. Simple bass track. As you can see, I'm kind of flying through this because this is a more simple song for me to do. And then that's another thing. I try not to put... so this is going to end right here. This is ending the verse. I don't want to put a verse part next to the chorus part when it comes to vocals. Like, let me show you. Because I'm going to immediately jump in and use those harmonies again. So I don't want to do that. So I can actually mute that. Come back here. And now we're going to jump into that vocal part, the chorus. Get rid of both of these. Show off that little acoustic guitar part again. Show some, keep that, get rid of 2 harms. Boom, right in the acoustic part. And now we're going to open this back up after I already made the cut. Once you get the hang of it, you can just fly through this damn thing. And if you know the song well enough, you know exactly what you're looking for. Here comes the bridge. There's a harmony right here in the middle of the bridge. Get rid of those 2 little tail ends. Again, there's another harmony. Boom, right there. I forgot to mute this, like I said. That would have been terrible had I left it. The only part right here is the acoustic guitar part. Trying to find a cool ending right now. That's it right there. Now, there is an optional thing you can do. This is attached to this, so if I delete it, both of them are going to go and it's going to mess everything up. I just leave them. Doesn't really matter. And then what you're going to do is go up here. Make sure all the tracks that are muted are supposed to be muted. All the ones that are supposed to be open. Give it one quick listen through. Make sure this is at 0. And you're going to go up here and then share, export, whatever you have it set to export to. I have one in 720. I have some in 4K. This one's a master default that I have in 1080 at 60 frames a second. And then you can upload them directly to Facebook, YouTube. I typically just use my master one that I made, and you can look up tutorials on how to do that. But this is how I do this, and I'm going to export this. So this is my process on my music video editing. Let me know if it helped out any in the comments below. Let me know if it sucked, because I've never done teaching before. I've just kind of read things off the interweb to your guys' face and ears. So let me know. I'll probably never do a tutorial again because it's weird. It's weird that I'm teaching things. I don't like doing it. So, but let me know if this was helpful at all. And let me know if the other video was helpful at all. The one where I showed you guys my recording process. Also, go listen to the Invitation to Understanding video that was in this. The whole music video and the recording and everything, the song and video were in this. So go listen to the other, go watch the other video and listen to the music video for this. I'll link them up down below. But that's gonna end this. So thanks for watching. Roll the outro.